hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let's wait a couple of minutes and hopefully see some people. Although it is very, 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 very hot, so I do understand if we're a bit quiet. Hello! Is that Dimfna? Difna? Hello, hi Rebecca, hi Anki. Oh, it's nice to see everyone. Hi Anne, hi Anya, hi Sylvia, hi Becky, hi Angelique, hi Terry. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's a super hot day here in the UK. So you'll have, let me know if my fan is disturbing the sound, and I can sort of aim it somewhere else if needs be. Hi Deborah, hi Anita, hi Carol, hi Petri, hi Belinda. Hello, hello, hello. What time are we on? I will give it another minute and then I will get on with the live. I'm going to show you how I made this. I think it's something that could be a thing in its own right. I was thinking it would make a really nice alternative to a birthday card, really. Hi, Julie. I'm so glad you found me. Hello. Oh, it's incredibly summery. But yes, I was thinking if you put a sentiment on this, it would make a really nice, standalone little wallet gift type thing, because it's it's very nice on its own, but it's also obviously designed to be a page in one of your journals too. So I've done this, which I'm going to show you how I did everything on here, and also these little cards that I've done. We'll go through this, and I'm going to show you some maybe some alternative ways of creating the project as well. But that's kind of where we're at. Hi, David. Hi. Oh, good, Anya. I'm really glad because I really didn't want to turn it off. I'm really enjoying having a fan. But yeah, so I'm going to show you how I did this. And I'll show you how I did this colorway. But I'm also going to show you an alternative colorway as well. So I've done this side. So I've cut out, this is the file from the Floral Slots file folder, which is 2264. Hi Diane, lovely to see you. Hi Vilma. Hi Teresa. Oh, Julie, I don't blame you. These files, there are a couple of them in this collection, and these files are just awesome. So I've cut my file. I've done this side, so I'm going to turn over and do this side now. And the stencil that I'm using is this stencil from the last collection, number 8. And I just think I really like the effect it's got, that sort of, what's the word for it? Chinoiserie look, which I think works really well with these colours. So let's get on with this. So I'm going to start over on this side, I think. And I'm just using, this one is Liquitex flexible molding paste, but any paste, they all have sort of their own little quirks and ways of being, don't they? They all do slightly different things. Some puff up more, some puff up less, etc. But they all pretty much do the same thing, I think. And you find the ones that you like to work with, and you work with them. So, and I like this one. I also like lots of others, but I do like this one. So I'm just applying my paste through my stencil, nothing complicated at all. There we go. I'll lift that one up, and then I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to do the other side. There we go. Is this one gesso based? Do you know? I'm just looking, David, because I really don't know. I just quite like it. Yeah, it doesn't say, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. This is the matte one that I like to use, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was gesso based, purely based on the way it dries. It does have that vibe to it. But I've got to say it is one that I like, and I like that it goes a really long way as well. You can get a big tub of this, and it's not that expensive, and it lasts a long time. Right, let me get rid of that. There we go. So I've done that little bit of stenciling. Let me pop my lid on my thing, and I am just going to go and chuck my stencil into some water because I love it and I don't want to ruin it. Right, sorry about that, but I can't be ruining my beautiful stencils, so I had to pop it into some water. Now, I know some people would perhaps dry this before they spray on it, but I actually like to spray on it while it's wet. Can you colour it with ink, or does it eat up your colours? You can colour it with ink, no problem at all. It takes the colours really well. Yeah, I really is one I really like. So anyway, no further ado, I'm going to start adding colour because I like to add colour when my paste is wet, as a rule. So for a very similar colourway, excuse me, for a very similar colourway to the one that I showed you, I'm using picked raspberry oxide spray. Just a little, oh come on, we've got a little hiccup. Let me just dip it in some water. I might not have given it a good enough shake before we got going. There we go, that will be fine for the pink. And then I'm gonna oh, I've got a little frog in my throat, which is very annoying. Hi, Katie. Hi, Brian. Lovely to see you. So I've got my my picked raspberry down, and then I'm going to use some salvaged patina. I'm being quite generous with my sprays, and I'm trying to remember to dip before I put the lids on as well. And then this one is Wilted Violet, which is the one that gives us that lovely purple. Oh, come on, you're not playing today. I wonder if it's the heat that's bothering the sprays. Right, what I will do is I'm going to just, because I want some purple on here and I don't want to mess about, I'm just going to flick my colour. There we go. That will do for now. And then what I do with any of the colourways I do when I'm using my oxides. Oh, thanks, Terry. What should I? Oh, Marcy. I'm glad it makes the time go faster. Right, so now I've got when I've put the oxides on, I like to come in then with a distress spray that's like a little bit darker, maybe a sort of brownie one. This one's frayed burlap, and I'm just adding a little bit of that. Okay, and then I'm going into my little box of magic, which is my I've got a few of the distress spritzes. Now they just add another level to your projects. They flicking stuff everywhere here. They're bunged up, unfortunately, because I need to get some new sprayers for these because I've used them rather a lot. So this one is peacock feathers, which I'm adding. Let's get plenty of that on there. You can get the extra sprayers for these because unfortunately they do have a little bit of a tendency to do that, but we can deal with it. And then this one, which is one of my favorite colors to add to anything, is fossilized amber, and it just gives you that little bit of magic, that little gold sparkle. And I'm just flicking that one all over as well. There we go. And I think a little bit more purple is needed. So this is Wilted Violet. And we will get this all over here. Now, if you want to spread this colour a little bit, you can spray water, and you'll get more of a spread of colour. But I really like to have the the splatter marks. That's my cup of tea. So once I'm happy with what I've got, I'm going to dry it, and this will dry the paste as well. So everything gets dry together. I'm just kind of cleaning and drying and drying and cleaning because I want to just move this one out of the way, and then I'll move on to one I've already prepared. Because as we know, if you can leave these things to dry on their own, you will get a richer colour. I don't know, I think the heat drying sort of forces the colour in to the paper a little bit more. There we go. Right, I'm going to leave that there so you can see this one. So there we go. That's that side of that one. And obviously there's that side I've done. I'm putting my fingers in wet paste, but never mind. It will dry off and it will all be fine. So you want to do that, and you also, let me move this out of the way now. There we go, tidy up space, lovely. You will also want to cut out the slots die, and when you're adding your colour to your file, add your colour to your slots section as well, and then that way all the colours will tie in together nicely. So that's the one I did for that one, but I wanted to show you a slightly different colourway. So I did one in, this is, I used blues and rusty hinge, and I still had the fossilized amber in there and the peacock feathers, just to add a little bit. Now the trick is deciding which way you want to have it, isn't it? That's the, I think I'm going to go that way. I think I like that one. So I've got my file folder, and I've also got my slots doodaddy thing there. So this is ready to go in there. So what I'm going to do before I put it in there is I'm just going to grab my blending tool and give it a little blend. Actually need a little piece of paper. Oh, the gold is amazing, Anita. Is that the fossilized amber distress spritz is just beautiful, and it just lifts your projects. It's like when we, I'll splatter some white on here as well, but it's a very similar effect. So I'm just using, this is scorched timber, and I'm doing the inside edges of this because they will show a little bit when I fold it in. So I just want to make sure that I haven't got sort of stark white card showing there, because I think it will draw the eye too much. And we don't need to worry about the bottom one. So I'll just pop that out of the way, and we can glue this in place now so we know where it is, and we're ready to roll then when we do our cards. So let's have a look. Yes, that's going to fit nicely on there. Let's have some glue. And I'll just glue in along my edges. And then trying to evenly put it down on there. Let me get a little paper, wait a minute, just to hold that down for a minute, because there's lots of things for it to stick to. So the next thing I wanted to look at then when I was putting this together was I wanted to put a character on there. So I've done this character, and as you can see, I've added some colour, and I've taken the colours from the ones that I've used on my cover. So it will all work together really nicely. So let me see. That's not sticking down. I think it needs a little bit longer because I'm rushing things, aren't I? So let's add a slightly quicker glue to this. Hi Dorothy, I'm so glad you found us too. So here we go. I'm going to stick my paper doll on here, and like I said, I've just taken my inspiration for his colours from the colours that I've used on the actual file. And I do that with lots of my projects because I just find it's a really easy way of making sure everything looks really nice together is by having a bit of a continuity. So we've got that there. Now, the next things I wanted to add, I've got these little doodads. These are from 2114 Border Flower, and I've got them because I like to have lots of these sort of things to hand. So they're just a little book plate, which I really like. So I'm going to use that. I'm obsessed. If you have not seen me before, you might not know, but if you've seen me before, you know I'm obsessed with these little butterflies, and they're from the laced die 2210, and I can't help it. I really I am so obsessed with them, and I have to put them on things, and I just can't help it. So I'm gonna I've just inked it a bit, and I'm going to put a butterfly there because I need to. I don't know why, it's just a thing that I really like doing. And, we have to do the things that make us happy, don't we? So, right, I've done that. I've got my little frames. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here. And then I'll put one in the middle as well. So I need some words. So let's look for some words. Now this journal phrases 5 is CS416, and there are so many good little words and phrases on here. It's just perfectly put together with the right mix of all sorts. Now I do like these words, so I'm going to stick with them. I could ink these if I wanted to, but they're going to be mainly covered, so I'm not too worried about inking them. Put that one there, and we'll put this one here. Oops, sticky thing. This is what happens to me when I use the slightly stickier glue, is I tend to get stickier with everything. Oh dear me. Right, let's get something with a slightly smaller. Oh, Brian, I'm obsessed with these little butterflies. I don't know what it is. They're a couple of, I think it might have been the first collection that I did of David's even. And it was just this little panel of butterflies. And I just haven't stopped using them since because I just really like them. There we go. I'm going to stick that one on there. And let's have some. I've got glues here with the lids off. Honestly, this is terrible, Rachel. You need to just breathe and take a little minute. Oh, let's put that one on there. So we've got our 2 little book plates there. And you don't have to do it this way. You could do it any way you like it. I mean, I just think they're just lovely little files that are great to add extra details to. Right now I want a word for in here. Look, there's so much. That won't fit, it's too big. We will find one that will fit. Oh, here we go. I know this fits because I used this on the other one. There we are. Let's have a look. Belinda, yes. Me too. I really like them as well. I use them a lot. That's why I have a little pot of them, because I'll, you know, with things that I like to use a lot, like the cogs I've got here and the butterflies, I'll have a cutting session, and I'll cut lots of them and I'll wax lots of them or stamp them or whatever. And then I've got them in a little pot for, you know, several projects, which I like. Right, there we go. Oh, I've gone a little bit too high with that one. Let me see if I can. Oh, phew. That was a bit of luck. Oh. Come on, Rachel, sticky fingers. You can do it. There we go. Hooray. Right, so I've got those in place now, which I really, really like. I'm going to keep the words out because I will be using those again. So I think we'll do the finishing off splatters and things right at the end. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make my little cards. Now, let me show you. You can see these ones here. And what I've done is this little piece at the top is the waist. It's these bits that came out of the slot die. Oh, I'm showing you with my arm over it so you can't actually see. They came out of the slots die, and I've just turned them upside down and stuck them onto the top. And I cut my cards. They are 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And I've got some of the little tops that I've done already that I'm going to put in this one. And I've actually put a little bit of Snow-Tex on these before I sprayed them, just to give them a little bit of texture. And I've started, and I've done something a little different with that one as well. But we'll do the other 3 now. And you could put any sort of fabric, or I die cut this one earlier as well because it's a beautiful, beautiful die. It's from 2210, the laced one with the little butterflies in it. And cutting little pieces of this off and putting them on the top would be, well, we're going to do it. So we'll see what it looks like. But I think it's going to look really nice. So I'm going to put that to one side. And I'm going to get my little cards. Where are I? Oh, Anya, I love using my scraps. Yes, Shelley. If there's glue or chemical things on the order, maybe. Yes, yeah. That could be the reason. Right, I'm just going to do 3 more because that's all we need. Let me put these on a piece of paper. And if I put them like that, this stencil that I want to use, which again is from the last collection, the garden collection, number 8, stencils number 8. And that will fit over those 3 cards quite nicely. So I'm just going to stick that down there. And I'm going to get my my little minis because it's so convenient having them as minis, isn't it? And we're going to add some colour to these first of all. So let's see, what do we got? I think we're going to start with, I'm going to start with the nice light centres. Let me check I'm in view. I need to come up just a little bit, I think. There we go. Let me move that one out of the way. Right, so this is mustard seed. And I'm just going to go in the centre of the flowers with this. And I'm not trying to stay in the lines or anything like that. I'm just going over the centre area. And I'm not being careful. I'm just going for it. Then I'm going to take spiced marmalade. And again, I'm not being careful. I'm just coming out a little bit further than the yellow. But I'm not being precious about it. Oh, Belinda, this stencil is another beauty. The whole collection. Well, do you know? I can't. It's all favorites, isn't it? Because every time David designs a new collection, I'm always blown away. I always think, oh, they can't get any better than this, and they always do. So again, just a little bit darker, and then rusty hinge. Whoops. Just a little bit darker again, and around, you know, just going further out each time. So there's nothing particularly challenging about it. And if it goes on any other part of the stencil, I'm not really that bothered. It'll add to the design, right? And then I'm going to start with Stormy Sky. So I've got the Stormy Sky, and I'm actually just doing a little bit on the edge of the flowers with the Stormy Sky. Not a lot, but just a tiny little, like a kiss of colour on the edge of those flowers. And I'm doing all of the leaves and the tendrils with it as well. There we go. So just a kiss around the edge of the flowers, and then getting all the leaves and the tendrils and the other bits of foliage. There we go. Hi, Catherine. So just adding that colour. I think that will do that. And then I'm going to get the, what's it called? Cracked pistachio. And I'm just adding a little bit of the cracked pistachio to the leaves as well. And that's going to sort of give us the look of shading mixed with that Stormy Sky. You know, I'm not doing it all over them. I'm just catching little bits. There we go. So that, I think, is that. Let me get these out of the way. Put them to one side. There we go. And we've got our three cards now, nicely decorated. And I'm going to take a large soft brush this time. Large soft brush, and again, this is scorched timber, but it could just as easily be vintage photo or walnut stain, one of those, you know, the ones that we like to use to grunge things up. And I'm using that soft brush, and I'm just pushing it in from the edge. So just using a soft brush and pushing it in. And it just, you know, it just grunges it up a little bit. It, you know, it gives it a more of a vintage vibe. Oh, I tell you what we could do. Oh, I'm going to have to do it now I've thought of it. Hang on 1 second. Now, I haven't used this one in my other sample, but I just Oh, this stamp, David, is one of my favourites. This is Cracked Fields, and it's CS415. Now, if we want to grunge up, make up. Oh, how exciting is this? Sorry, I'm loving this idea. Actually, let me get a thing to put this on. A little thing to put this on a minute. Oh, now. So I'm using again that Scorched Timber Distress ink, because this way, when I add some water to it, it's going to give me nice effects as well. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. That just looks like a vintage panel. That's, oh, David, this stamp. Oh, I love this. Oh my goodness. Now, obviously, I haven't got this on the one that I pre-did because I only just thought of doing it. But, oh, look at that. I really like that a lot. I'm really glad I thought to do that. And then the other little finishing touch I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of peacock feathers on there. And I want my paintbrush, which is here somewhere. There it is. Get my paintbrush, and I'm just going to do a few little flicks on there, just because it's the colours that I've used on the folder, and it just brings them in a little bit more. There we go. Oh my goodness, that stamp is just something else. Oh, Karen, please post in the. Look at that. I mean, that is a single piece as well for a project with that crackling stamp. Oh, well done. I do like that. Oh, thanks, Julie. Thanks, Katie. I'm loving it myself. I wasn't expecting to do that, and I'm so glad I did. And then I've just added a little bit of water, just to get a little bit of a watery effect going on with that as well. Right, so I've done that. Oh, how exciting was that? Now, obviously, I've got this one, which looks a bit different because I haven't got that lovely stamping on it, but it'll be okay. And I'm thinking of maybe adding a little bit of this. I think that's going to look really nice. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of this to this. Let me trying to decide which glue is going to hold things in place the best at the moment, because the temperature is playing havoc with everything in my craft room. I'm supposed to be doing some things with some resin, and I can't because the resin just will not like this heat at the moment. There we go. So I've got that little bit of lace on there. Let me get my scissors and trim that off. So I've stuck my lace on. And I'm going to cut it off there. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. And should we put a little bit of lace on there as well, maybe? Yes, I think we will. So let me trim. I'm going to cut it in half because it certainly doesn't need a whole piece. There we go. Let's put that there. A little bit more glue. The stamp is called, bear with me because I haven't got it written down because I wasn't expecting to use it, but I've got it here on my side. It is called Cracked Fields. It's called Cracked Fields, and you get the lovely little field silhouette, and you get the cracked doodad, and it's CS415. CS415, and I've used it on a few different projects, and it's one of those that's going to be an absolute it's going to be on the desk a lot. So I'm going to add a little bit of that lace as well. There we go, and trim that one off. There. And then I want my little grungy, well, where did I put those? I had them all ready to go on, and you saw them too, didn't you? I know you did. I wonder if the fan has blown them. No, here they are. Here we are. So, and I can now put that one on the top too. And I'm putting the glue on the card because obviously these little strips are a little bit longer than my card, which is kind of part of the look that I like with them. So you can see that. And then I'm going to look for a little bit of something. Belinda, isn't it fab? Oh, yeah, in the heat, it's a whole different ball game, isn't it, Brian? You have to really account for it. Have you tried using some paint retarder in the heat? That can be really helpful. Right, I've got this little bit of fabric which I think is going to be perfect on here. Do you know, and I don't know why it's taken me far too many years to admit, but I finally realised this year as well, and probably you guys might have been doing this for years and I'm just a slow catch on, but I had some clothes that I really liked the fabric, and so I was holding on to them because I really liked the fabric, but they weren't actually any good for anything. And then I thought, oh my goodness, I can use this fabric on my journal covers and everything. I've used jeans for journal covers, but I've started like tops with holes in or things like that. I'm using them to make ribbons, and oh, it's fab. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Right. So we've got these phrases, and they've got these lovely lines around them, which I love. But because I want to separate them up to put on my little cards, I'm just trimming those little lines off. And there's enough room that you can do that. David's very cleverly designed them. So you've got that little bit of leeway to have lines off or lines on. And then you just decide how you want to space your phrase out. So I'm going to do like that. I kind of like the whole three lines of text. Yes. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Belinda. Yeah, jeans I've done a fair bit with. But I had these tops that I just held on to because I really liked the fabric, and I thought, well, hang on, I really like, you know, I love using sari ribbons. They're my sort of go-to bits of fabric, and I thought, well, I can make my own. And so, you know, it's one of those simple things that I really don't know why I hadn't thought of before, but I have now, and I'm very pleased with myself for it. Yeah, try the paint retarder, Brian. It really helps when you're trying to use paint for gel presses and things like that in the heat. It stops it drying out so quickly. So there we go. There's one that we have done. I'm liking that. What time are we on? Right, I will see if I can quickly get these other two finished, and then we can add the finishing touches, because I've got the border stitch stamp that I really like to add to projects. It's called Stitched Borders, and it's CS34, and you get several. I think you get, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 6 different stitches on them, and there's some flowers as well. And it's another really handy one. Actually, what I might do, given the time, I think I'll actually skip to doing those finishing off bits now, just to make sure that we have time to do them. So I'm going to take this. There he is, looking rather magnificent. I do love him. And I'm going to take some black ink and a stitched border there. And of course, I mean, I like using my sewing machine to put edges on, but I do find these little borders are very handy when you haven't got time to do that. So let's stick that one there, and I'm going across the fold so I get a little bit on the front and the back there. There. Just pressing that down on there, so you can see I've got that faux stitching, and it's really good stitching. I'm just thinking where else I want to do this one before I change to the other one. There we go, a little bit more. I want to do the sides there, and there are some little shorter ones in this collection as well, so you can really experiment with your faux stitching. Let's turn that one round. There. And then I'm going to take the other one, which is a slightly different stitch. There's also there are just other stitches in there to play with, which are rather fab. There we go. Let's leave that one there, and I want to come up that side like that. Oh, I'm sorry, dog, we've got a little bit on you, but I think you'll be okay. So that's done like that. And then, of course, with the cards, then you can add little bits of stitching to them, which is a lot of fun. And it is such a good stitching stamp. You know, it really looks like stitching. Let's do those two, and we'll leave the other two later. Right, I really like those. Let me just pop that one on there so I don't lose it. And then I'm gonna get my my Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white, because in my opinion it's brilliant for doing splatters, and I want some splatters. Right, where's my little fan brush? Let's have a look. If I put it somewhere else, I think I must have. Right, I'll use my just my little brush. That will be fine. So I'm just gonna get some of this white, and I'm just putting my finger roughly over his face, because we don't really want him to get completely lost in a snowstorm. But I do want to, I want to involve him in the splatter. I don't want him to look like he's not part of it either. So just popping some little bits of splatter on there, and give that a quick dry before I turn it over, because I have a habit of doing that, and then of course all the splatters get smushed on the other side. There we go. That will do. And we'll turn him over. And we'll just put some splats on the inside as well, because we need splats in life. There we go. Just look at that. I've got it on my mat. I've been trying to keep one side of my mat clean. Oh, Julie, you're telling me. I know. I have the same problem. There are so many things that I would like, and I have to really be strict with myself, because there are just so many nice things out there. There we go. Let's just give that a little dry. And then we've got these two cards that are done, so they can, and I should have put some splats on them as well. Actually, I'm going to put my cracked one there, because I'm just so in love with that crack. And then obviously I've got those other two cards to finish to put in there. But that is it so far. And I will do another couple of cards to pop in there, because I've got them, because we made them and I love them. But I am nearly up to the hour now, so I love them. I love them. I just think it's a really lovely, it's one of those things that can stand on its own right, or it can go into a journal and you've got your pages all done there. So, but I've thoroughly enjoyed your company this evening. Thank you. And thank you very much to everyone who liked and shared. And yeah, I will see you soon. I'm back in, I am back soon. When am I back? I'm back in September, the beginning of September. I'm back. So I will see you in the beginning of September. And I look forward to playing some more. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, it's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Oh, what size journal? Hang on, I can tell you that quickly. Let me get the big one from up here. because that's probably where it will end up going. Would you believe it? Come here. There we go. I got it. Yeah, so this is my big journal. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure what size this one is called, but they fit into this one. Is there somebody who knows the size of this one? Thank you, Shelley. But yeah, they'll fit into this journal. And of course, you can make a journal in its own right out of the little file folders as well, which is a lot of fun. There we go. I hope that helped. Let me tell you I'll quickly tell you the measurements if that's more helpful. Yeah, it's 6 inches tall by just a shade over 4 inches. A shade over 4 inches wide. So that could be a card front as well, couldn't it? Could be anything you want to make it. Oh, thank you, Anki. Yes, Passport XL. There we go. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.